Welcome to another episode of Good Ole Gamers. I'm Lyle McClendon. I'm here with Brandon Gentry.
Go fuck off.
And we're going to set forth and bring you another wonderful episode of shenanigans and riffraffery.
And horseshittery.
We're going to dive straight in tonight as we usually do with some brand new news. I don't have a whole lot of shit this week, to be honest with you.
There hasn't been a whole lot going on that I really felt like was worth sharing.
A continuation of what I talked about last week, the DLC of Mortal Kombat. They announced that May 5th, the Combat Pack will finally be available for everybody that's bought it and for everybody that's going to buy it.
Oh boy.
So,
yeah.
More DLC coming that way. They've recently announced a Gears of War remaster as well for Xbox One.
Is it going to be like this update of the graphics, or is this are you going to fuck with it some?
I'm not 100% sure because I kind of briefly read over some of the shit earlier. I think it's just going to be pretty much like a graphical update of the original Gears of War. That's cool and all.
I never was big into that. They were okay, I guess.
I'm on the remaster train. I want both, like, the remasters kind of like the DLC now. I'm like, it's unnecessary. You got this new hardware that's capable of all this badass potential. Fucking use it. Come up with some original shit.
Right.
Stop redoing. Stop George Lucasing fucking games that are already out, you know?
Yeah, we put 3 Ewoks in the background of this level of Gears of War. I think it made it really bad.
Yeah. Greedo shoots twice instead of once when he didn't even shoot for the first time, you know?
Gears of War didn't strike me as a game that really needed remastered. I mean, it's not that outdated.
Yeah, and I mean, Gears is a very popular game.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, it is popular, but is it that popular? You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Does it mandate that it needs a fucking remaster this early in? Instead of remastering, I'm like, why just not do a new Gears of War game, you know?
Money.
Yeah.
Money. It's a lot easier to remaster it than to make a whole new one.
Produce a new one.
Make it sell it for the same fucking price.
You got a valid fucking point. Well, what do you got on the end of the news?
Not much. There's been some changes to Steam. Now, new users have to spend $5 on Steam to get full access to all the features of Steam. That includes like adding new friends and stuff like that. People can add you as a friend, but you can't go and add people's friends. They've done this stuff to cut down on like bots adding friends and stuff. I've encountered a lot of those
like friend adder profiles and shit.
But you know, it was already kind of like that. You had to own a game on Steam. Now, it doesn't matter. You got to spend $5 on Steam, and the gifts don't count. So, like, I've done this several times. I finally got a friend into PC gaming. I'm like, okay, get on Steam. I'll shoot you one of these shitty games I have. Get you full access to Steam. Now that don't matter. I could give them a $60 game. They could put it on their account. There's still just a neutered access Steam account. So that part kind of sucks. I read the Axiom Verge, which is a Metroidvania for PS4.
I heard a little bit about this as well.
It's coming to PC May 14th.
So I'm really excited to play that game. It looks fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
And
it's one of those rare occasions where like an indie game is porting to the PC rather than coming out on the PC and porting to a console.
Yeah.
It's almost always PC first and then console ports if it gets popular enough. And my last bit isn't really news so much as something cool that I found. It's something called Pack-a-Pong. It's I can't remember the name of the guy who made it, but he made it for this little game development competition called Loot 'em Dare. They do a series of 2-day game development competitions where whoever makes like the best game for whatever topic they choose.
Yeah, like in a time frame.
Yeah. Well, this game it combines Pac-Man, Pong, and Space Invaders. You can go play like a free little demo of it. That's the whole actual game rather at King Penguin itch.io/Packapong. It's pretty cool. You got like a Pac-Man map in the middle, and you got the two Pong paddles on the left and right.
Yeah.
And the Pong paddles don't only move up and down; they move left and right. And while you got to avoid space invaders that come down on your side of the Pong side. And while you're doing that, you and the other player are sending Pac-Man through the little Pac-Man maze at each other. So the goal is to like send the Pac-Man through their side and not let them catch it, kind of like in Pong. It is pretty awesome. And then the Pac-Man side, there's like ghosts and shit. You gotta like kind of wager whether or not your Pac-Man will hit a ghost, or if it'll get one of the big dots and eat the ghost on the way. So it's a pretty awesome little game.
That sounds badass.
Yeah.
I have it. Pack-a-pong.
Yeah.
Pack-a-pong.
Yep.
I haven't heard of that. I will be sure to check that shit out, though.
That's really all I got. Do you want to talk about GameStop's?
Oh, do. I do.
Yeah.
I fucking do. I went into GameStop earlier today, just perusing around. And, right when you walk in the front, they have a little table set up. And the little table has an NES console sitting on it. Well, they have a bunch of little hand flyers sitting there. We are now buying retro consoles.
Oh boy.
NES, SNES, N64, Sega Genesis, PlayStation, I think, and Dreamcast are what they're looking to buy. They've already been buying PlayStation 2s at like $25 a pop if it works. So, but somebody had told me they think it's online only.
Either way, it's going to drop the local supply of retro games.
Yeah,
more.
That's what really just hurts my feelings, because one of the things I love about retro gaming is it's the thrill of the hunt kind of deal. Like going out and looking for that game, looking for games in the wild. It's fucking thrilling to us nerdy people, you know. Like,
yeah, you come across some guy's cardboard box on the back of his trailer, labeled $5, and you find like a copy of Earthbound in it. You just shit your pants on that.
Yeah, dude. Like, connected story. I found a copy of Earthbound at the now defunct Wizard in Coleman, and it was $5. They didn't know what they had, and dude, literally about had a fucking stroke or heart attack. My body went fucking numb, and I felt nauseous, but in a great way, you know, like excitement overkill. But that's gonna kill it, because everybody knows GameStop's the, and I'm not gonna just talk full shit about GameStop, because they do a lot of shit I don't like, and I tend not to go there all the time, but I do go there. Because sometimes you just got to. Yeah, and they are cheap on some shit, you know? And I would rather deal with GameStop over fucking Walmart any day of the week.
Me too.
And got some friends that work at GameStop. They ain't got no qualms like that with it, but it's just kind of, it sucks, man. Like, they're realizing, you know, hey, there's fucking money in this, and it kills it for the diehard collectors. Because, you know, in a way it's good, I guess, because people that haven't played the older shit,
they'll have a chance.
They have access to it.
Or at least they'll see it, you know, where otherwise they've been blind to it, because all they see is Call of Duty. And they go into GameStop, hey, you know, they've got this fucking NES. What's this game about, you know? Well,
essentially, you know, for the most part, you kind of want to look at it like, oh, well, it's getting more people in our hobby. But then, you know, the kind of collector, selfish side of you, I guess, bleeds out a little bit. And you're like, we don't fucking need any more people in this hobby. Because us that's been in it for the years now, you know, I've collected on and off video games since I was a fucking kid. You know, whether it's actual games, consoles, memorabilia, what have you. You know, and bigger influxes of people getting into it and shit. Is what drives the fucking price up.
My primary example of that is Magic the Gathering. Holy shit, the prices on that game.
Yeah, so many fucking cards, dude, slinging $600-$700 a goddamn card over the net.
I can't afford to play that competitively anymore. I could afford to, but I couldn't do it with a clear conscience because I could be putting that money towards doing shit for my children. And, I can't just, go down there on a weekend and spend $200 on cards that I need for whatever competitive deck.
You don't live in your fucking parents' basement and shit either anymore.
Used to, I could throw together a deck for $60 and go kick some dicks in, but it's not like that anymore. And it's we're going to kind of say that some more with the retro games. I mean, it's already like that to some degree. Everything's almost reached a standardized price now.
It's going to make the price go up,
specifically for the shit games, because they're not going to want to sell you
a little piss ass $3-4 game or something you might get for $1 at the yard sale is going to eventually cost you fucking $10, and that's going to be like bottom dollar price. I think it might not be like that, but the way shit is, like Earthbound's another one to use an example. When Earthbound first Earthbound's not even that rare of a game. No. It's uncommon, but it's just not like insanely fucking rare.
It just got super popular.
Yeah,
long after its release.
Yeah, not everybody knows about emulators and ROMs, and up until Nintendo come out with the the Virtual Console download of Earthbound.
Yeah.
Nobody other than that, if you didn't know about emulator and ROM, or if you didn't fucking have it physically on the console, you're not playing it.
Yeah.
And, I understand the price went up, but fuck, dude, it's like jumped like almost $100 in the past year.
Yeah.
Like, they were going for $140, and now I'm starting to see people pay upwards of like $220 and shit for them. Like,
I made a bad call on that. When I saw it was coming to the VMware, I thought that the price was going to shoot down because more people had access to the game. But what it did is bring more people to want the game.
It want the physical one.
Yeah.
And, now it will be. Like, that kind of shit makes uncommon games ultra fucking rare games.
Yeah.
Because
everyone has their copy and they don't want to let go of it. Not without paying. You'd be coughing up quite a penny anyways.
I don't agree with it, but, it's whatever. Walmart sells used games now.
Yeah.
But, I mean, not old, retro shit.
And if GameStop starts carrying those retros in their shop, that's going to hurt the local mom and pop
And that's
shops.
what sucks. Like, we're working it out right now, and I don't think they would mind name dropping, because we're working... we got some pretty close ties with Vault Games here in Coleman. Yeah. They're like our local mom and pop game shop, and they're really nice people. They got a great, they got a good selection of shit. And it hurts people like them.
Yeah.
And, dude, it sucks. I would much rather deal with a mom and pop organization and shop and then instead of
games.
Yeah, dude, like the commercial. It's like EB Games back in the day. We had a little shop here in Coleman, and then you go to cater to EB Games. Yeah. And I know a bunch of people that would trek up to EB on the weekend and get their shit, and I'm like, man... It's kind of like fucking alcohol sales. Everybody around you sells alcohol except for you. It's keep the money here, like keep the interest here. Like
right, yeah. Coleman exploded since we got alcohol. That is awesome.
Oh yeah, big time.
But yeah, I don't see any real good coming from this.
Me neither. Like it just,
to be honest, it's gonna have no effect on me personally because I'm a ROM guy. I've stopped collecting a while since I had children that would destroy everything I own.
Yeah.
So maybe in the future I'll collect again and it will fuck me. But right now I'm
it just cornholes the shit out of me. Which I mean, it does, and then it kind of doesn't because I don't usually pay full price for something. I'd much rather find something in the wild. But every now and then, if there's something I want fucking bad enough and I can't just readily find, I'll cave and I'll buy it. Yeah. And for reasons like that, I can understand. But just, I don't know. I'm not for it. No, thank you. Don't do it.
Yeah, I'd like to see less GameStop around, to be honest.
It's everywhere. Even fucking Hartselle has a GameStop now.
Yeah, pretty much anywhere there's Walmart, there's GameStop now. It's almost like I'd wager
hand in hand.
Yeah, I'd wager it's almost their business model to place them there because it's a smart thing to do. Everyone goes to Walmart. You might as well throw a fucking GameStop there.
I just, I'm fine with GameStop selling new stuff. I just wish they would not tamper with that because it's going to affect everything.
Yeah,
I'm not down for it. It's going to affect places like another place that we visited Sunday, Classic Game Vault in Huntsville. Went to a little Mario shindig up there.
Which Lyle won the little Mario tournament.
Woo! Crown me the fucking king. Yeah. I won the speed run Mario thing out of you and like 3 other opponents.
Yeah.
Nothing fucking major.
Yeah, I'd like to see a bigger turnout for it, but it is worth the trip.
Cool place though. We went to they have an in-house arcade. We got to play some groovy ass old school shit. Michael Jackson's Moonwalker.
That is the most badass arcade game.
It's a dude. People could just instantly like, Michael Jackson. I'm like, no, dude.
It's not the shitty Sega Genesis one.
Fuck no. Great arcade. Would you call it? Like an isometric view?
Yeah.
Shooter almost. Like
it's beat 'em up / shooter, and it also had. I don't know if you ever noticed it when he played. If he held down his little attack button, he fucking did like a Dragon Ball Z charge up.
Yeah. And do like the dance maneuvers and blow everybody up.
Yeah.
Dude, I love how you rescue little kids.
Yeah. Yeah. You go around and rescue kids, and if you eat monkeys...
Thank you, Michael.
And if you eat monkeys, I'm assuming he eats them because he just
turned into a giant cyborg. Yeah.
He turned into Mecha Michael.
Wasn't that monkey's name like Bubbles? Some shit. Wasn't that
know.
Michael Jackson's monkey's name? Somebody let us know what Bubbles.
Yeah, me and my stepson beat that game, and at the end of it, Michael Jackson transforms into a jet and flies off. And the game talks about how the children know that Michael will return to take them on a magical adventure.
I bet you it's magical as fuck.
If only they knew just how magical it was.
Don't you like to climb around in trees? No, motherfucker, I got a job.
It's a Richard Simmons type of magical.
Oh, God. Oh, shit. We're going into dark territory.
Yeah.
I beat Super Mario 3 on Play Choice 10 while we were there.
Nice.
I went over there and somebody else had been playing it, and they got up to like level 6-9, and I aced through 7, World 7, and then got to 8 and beat it. And, man, I noticed up there, they have their Donkey Kong machine set on like unfucking godly.
Really?
Like,
I didn't play it.
I booted in on the game, and I don't remember this fucking level. There's like multi-platforms moving, and you're having to like jump and dodge this electrical blast or some shit. Threw me for a fucking loop. It was rather fun though. I had a great time up there.
Yeah, definitely go back. I wish Coleman would get an arcade like that.
No shit. I wish we had something. We got Walmart. They don't even keep fucking games there. They had that new Alien shooter and Batman, and they got rid of it. And now all that's back there is like, fuck, I don't remember. Something stupid.
There for a while, it was like a generic Chuck E. Cheese. You get these tickets and get shitty prizes. And that was just a miserable experience. I had my kids avoid the ticket ones because I'm like, we don't want to fuck with this.
No. Just play something where you can slap some motherfucker around a little bit.
Yeah, play something you have fun with and let's go, because I'm not here to play games.
Yeah, and you got a million bouncing balls and plastic spiders and fucking, you got Tootsie Rolls and shit at home.
Yeah.
You know, you don't need $30 of my money to get that shit. Because that's the only cool thing I've ever won is we won that Pac-Man soccer ball from Fanny Farkle arcade in Gatlinburg.
Oh, sweet.
And it took us like 30,000 tickets.
Right.
But we got it. But they do double tickets up there. And some of them games you can play and get like... I scored like 2,000 tickets off this one game. It was just like, fuck yeah.
Hell yeah. Hey, speaking of arcades in Coleman, if there's any like multi-million-dollar savvy investors listening, you know there are. How about we get together and start a Dave & Buster's in Coleman? That would be badass.
Fuck yeah. They're putting Buffalo Wild Wings in. Why not a Dave & Buster's?
Yeah, fuck Buffalo Wild Wings. Let's just bulldoze that shit, put in a Dave &
Yeah,
Buster's.
bro. Let's get drunk on Bud Light, bro. Chicken wings, fist fights, bro. Like, that's the name of this episode. Chicken wings and fist fights. versus the Avengers. Do the Avengers eat chicken
God.
wings and have fist fights?
Before we start talking about the Avengers video games, I kind of want to talk about the Avengers movies. It's the hair. I don't know, I got work. He still brings up to this day when I told him that I thought the Avengers was a mediocre action flick. It still just blew his mind that someone didn't really like it that much. And don't get me wrong, they had good special effects, had a few good moments in it. So, a few parts made me chuckle. But the movie as a whole disliked any kind of substance at all. Like, at no point in the movie did I think the Avengers might fail. Even when they try to...
But they're not going to.
Right. But I mean, in a lot of movies, they're going to win, but you don't know how, or, you might even have some doubts at some point. They even in the Avengers, when they try to portray it as the Avengers were getting their ass kicked, they were kicking all the aliens' ass still. So there's no point, there's no up and down. There was just, shit happened in the end. And who could you, who were the characters that you got attached to in that movie? Who were the protagonists? You know who it was about, but who were the protagonists in that movie?
Yeah.
You had one kind of clear antagonist, Loki. He was the bad guy, but...
You got, a fucking infinite amount of random space henchmen.
Right.
And a giant dragon thing.
What was the real motive of the aliens teaming up with the god of deception? You know he's gonna fuck you. He's the fucking god of deception. Don't team up with him, you fucking idiots.
Well, my whole deal is, why all these fuck asses always go to New York and kill people?
Right.
Why not go to somewhere that's more populated, I don't know,
Tokyo?
Fucking China or something,
Yeah.
and just, make it... Ooh, I had to bite my tongue here because there was an earthquake in China yesterday.
Was there? I didn't know.
A big one.
Okay.
It killed, 1,200 people, I think.
Shit.
So, I'm not gonna pull on them strings, but, yeah... Go to fucking Los Angeles. Go kill the MS-13 or some shit. I better not say that on here neither. I'll get us killed. Death warrants.
It brings me just more problems with Joss Whedon. I don't like anything he's done.
Avengers Age of Ultron. That might, I think, answer your question about them getting beaten for once. Because, the third Avengers, they're supposed to be doing the Civil War storyline. And...
yeah, Joss Whedon, I can't think of one thing he's done that I really like.
You didn't fucking like Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
Fuck no, I did. Fuck Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
So Muffy the...
Yeah, Muffy the...
Vampire Layer.
Everyone I know that likes him, they're almost like cult-like followers of him. Everything he does, they just fucking love it.
Oh.
I call them Whedonites.
The one thing I do love, he wrote and directed Cabin in the Woods.
It was okay.
I fucking loved it. I just, and not really so much as I'm just it's a super spellbinding movie, but I really I thought it was ingenious how it was set up. It was a government agency that had the fucking multi-scenarios with the multi-monsters. I thought that was fucking awesome. Love that. But... I like the Avengers, but I'm not a die-hard Marvel guy. I mean, I like Marvel, don't get me wrong. I'm more of a DC. And see, I didn't read either, really. I read comics growing up.
Yeah.
But I always read a lot of Dark Horse and Image, which we're getting into. We're going to go ahead and tell you the topic for tonight's episode, because we're in it now.
Yeah,
we're doing superheroes tonight. Superhero video games. I liked a lot of the other stuff, like Dark Horse Image was my big one, because Spawn.
Yeah, I was going to say, I remember seeing your Spawn comics, and you had a lot of X-Men, too.
Yeah, I did dig on some X-Men. I like X-Men and Spider-Man. Those are probably my two favorite Marvel
I was mainly into
Spider-Man,
Venom, Carnage.
Carnage is the shit. We'll let the first game we'll talk about go ahead and bust it off, because I'm sure this is on a lot of people's ordeal.
Yeah. Maximum Carnage it wasn't on the Genesis as well.
It was on Genesis and SNES.
I played it on the SNES. I had the sweet red cartridge.
They have a red Genesis one as well.
Okay. Sweet. Yeah, that game was hard as fuck.
Balls hard, dude.
Yeah.
one of the levels that got me the fucking most is the one where you're scaling up the building.
I hear that from a lot of people.
The spider sense a tingle, and you have to dodge the shocker. Is it shocker that's or electro?
The shriek is sending you like sonic booms at you.
Okay, yeah. Well, you have to like dodge that bullshit. That's one of
and
the
then
hardest.
all of a sudden, Doppelganger can swing out there and knock you in the
dick. Dude. Doppelganger just comes like sailing by like goddamn Peter Pan on a death mission. Like, fuck you, Doppelganger.
It's one of the games I spent a lot of time and finally beat when I was a kid, and I was so happy that I beat that game.
Dude, that game is a test of fucking endurance.
Yeah.
One of the few actual LJN published games, too, that's worth a shit.
Oh, yeah.
The famed LJN that everybody in the world fucking hates on.
Well, Green Jelly did the soundtrack.
Yes.
It had a great soundtrack.
Or some shit like that.
Yeah, it was awesome. I love being able to play as Venom. Because back then, having a game where you got to select from, quote-unquote bad guys was rare. He was always good guys in the games back then. So that was, Venom never was always a straight bad guy. He's more of an anti-hero.
Yeah, he's an anti-hero. Like, Eddie Brock could never figure out what the fuck he wanted to do.
I loved Eddie Brock. That was the best Venom to me.
Except in Spider-Man...
the movie?
3, the Sam Raimi Spider-Man 3.
Fuck that movie.
Who makes Topher fucking Grace Eddie Brock? That's like, why didn't you get the goddamn guy from Napoleon Dynamite to play as the motherfucker? Like, same difference. Eric Foreman is not fucking Venom. Period. Like,
yeah.
Ugh.
And he was just...
What you thinking, Sam Raimi?
Spider-Man and Venom in that movie were just fucking pussies. That pissed me off so bad.
Yeah, Spider-Man wears more eyeliner than any girl I've ever seen.
Yeah, the only good thing about that movie was the brief cameo of Bruce Campbell.
Yeah. Yeah. He saved that movie.
Yeah. Hey, there's Bruce Campbell. Alright, best part of the movie. Let's go home.
Yeah. That's the only good thing Sam Raimi did with all 3 of those consecutively. Which I like the first 2, don't get me wrong.
The first one was alright. Which one had Doc Ock? Was that the
second one?
Yeah, Doc Ock is always one of my favorite bad guys.
I liked how they did Doc Ock.
But anyways, back to Maximum Carnage. Yeah. That level where you got to dodge all the sonic boom and stuff. You get up on top of the roof after that, and you have to fight Doppelganger. And if you want a quick way to kill him there's like a big little like water tower sitting there. If you go beat the shit out of that, you'll knock the supports out from under it. And you can pick it up and just kill him in one hit with it. So that's a good little tip there for you. That is pretty awesome. To actually get through the game, the way I figured it out is as you go through the game, you'll get little team-up icons that you can use and like summon other heroes in that pretty much kills everything on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
You get those and you save those fuckers. You don't use them to anything except for the bosses.
Yeah.
And you do everything you can to not die, get as many extra lives as possible, and save up those team-ups and use them all on the bosses. Because that's the only way you're going to beat that fucking game.
Carnage is the final baddie of the game. I never made it that far.
The best way I figured to beat him is I got this a few times I got to him and I went through all my team-ups and still fucking died. So the way I figured it out was almost somewhat of an exploit. You could switch between Spider-Man and Venom at will at that point by pressing select. And when you came in the screen, you had like a couple seconds of invulnerability. So I'd switch in and beat the fuck out of him during that invulnerability while I was blinking. And then as soon as I could, I'd switch back and do it again. So it kind of minimized the punishment you took from that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really fucking tough.
Yeah, I will always remember Maximum Carnage as being one of them games where it's just like, if you ain't got the fucking chops to play a beat 'em up, do not pick that one up.
Yeah.
Like,
and it was fun regardless of the frustration you'd get from it.
Oh yeah, it's a great game.
I loved how all the enemies, there's like random people off the
cool
street.
Dude, Jayhawk.
Yeah, they all have this random names like Dan. I'm Spider-Man and I'm beating the fuck out of Dan. Fuck you, Dan.
Yeah, you're in the wrong place, wrong goddamn time, Dan. Sucks be you, nerd.
And like the first level, the bosses look like Girl Scouts.
Yeah.
And they'd whip you with their hair and shit. It's like, why the fuck is Spider-Man getting the shit beat out of him by the Girl Scouts?
You're fucking Spider-Man, dude. Like,
I understand why that they were doing that. Because Shriek, makes everyone around here fucking psycho. So she drove all these people insane. But how could just regular fucking people hurt Spider-Man?
Yeah, why is there 50 people that all look the same named Dan?
Well, this one has a green shirt.
Well, way to break up the difference. But that's Dan S. and that's Dan Smith and that's Dan Edwards. Like,
yeah. Oh,
one of my favorite games, superhero games, when I was younger, is fucking Captain America and the Avengers.
Yeah.
On NES.
And that's not the arcade version. That's like the side-scrolling Avenger version.
Yeah. You either play as Captain America or Hawkeye.
Back when Hawkeye was a superhero, not just the guy with the bow.
Yeah, like back when Hawkeye had the fucking purple outfit and all that jazz. Like you play through the level and you have to unlock gems. Like you got these little things you shoot that you get, your fucking power ups and shit out of. Well, you get certain gems to unlock the exit to the level, and you play a boss in the level. Well, the boss is set up like a fighting game, kind of. You have energy bars, and it's like side view, hard as fucking shit. Just kind of like Maximum Carnage. Just it's overkill on difficulty in the later levels. A lot of the superhero games are like.
I've never played it enough to really go into detail about it. The old NES Batman games were hard as fuck.
Shit, dude.
And I don't remember them being any fun. I think that's why I never played them.
The only one out of the old Batman games that I really, really fucking liked was Batman Return of the Joker on NES. It was the game where Batman uses a gun and you get all kinds of power-ups and shit.
Sweet.
It was really cool. Batman, however, fucking turd on NES. I had Batman Returns on Sega CD, and it's a fucking turd.
I think most of the Batman games up until recently were shit.
Now, the new ones, the new Batman, the Arkham Asylum, is it Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, Arkham Origins, and now Arkham Knights, the forthcoming one. Fucking great games.
Yeah, I just installed them on my PC tonight. I've owned those games for literally like 3 years now. 2 or 3 years. I bought them cheap as dirt on a Christmas, like a Steam Christmas sale or something. I was like, yeah, I'll play that one day. I guess one day's coming now.
Now, I haven't played Arkham Origins on PS3. I've beaten Arkham Asylum and Arkham City on PS3, but I have Arkham Origins on DS, on 3DS, and it's different, of course, but even man, it's fucking, for a handheld game, it's really, really fun. The Batman Forever, the arcade game, isn't terrible. It's like a side-scroll beat 'em up.
Okay, I never played that one.
It's not terrible. I actually played a little bit of it last weekend at Classic Game Vault. But,
yeah, I saw it there, but I never got around to playing that one.
It's not terrible. It's not great, but it's not terrible either.
The Batman racing game, where you're in the Batmobile, that's not really strictly a racing game, but it's kind of has some shoot 'em up to it too. I can't remember the name of it, but that one's pretty fun. I think, though, most games where you get to sit in this driver's seat with the steering wheel are usually pretty good.
Yeah, I agree.
And my little girl loves all those games, especially if it's like a motorcycle or a Sea-Doo or something. She's all about that shit.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that game was pretty fun. The Lego Batman games were good.
I haven't played any of those.
I've only played them with my stepson. I wouldn't play them by myself. They're a little too simple for me. But for the two of us, that was a good way for us to just get some game time in together. It wasn't so boring that I would just, just go to sleep while we were playing it. But yeah, this gave us a good chance to play something together.
I've heard a lot of good things about Lego Marvel Superheroes.
I have too, but I haven't played it.
I think it's got like 30 plus like playable characters, and each one's got their own abilities and shit. Kind of like Incentive. There might be something in the level that you can't reach if you don't play as this character, kind of deal. So Incentive to go backtrack, essentially,
I remember the Lego Star Wars was kind of like that. There's a lot of characters to play in that game.
I haven't played any, really, of the Lego games. I played a little bit of Lego Star Wars when it first came out.
One cool thing about those games is how they managed to tell you the story without saying a fucking word. Like, shit just happened on the screen, but it's obvious what they're, communicating to each other and what they were trying to do.
Kind of like Link in the Zelda games. Link never says a word, but you know exactly what he's fucking conveying, usually. Yeah. Those, I haven't played them. I'd like to. How about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle games?
That's another one we played a little at that arcade. And we played a lot at the skating rink when we were kids.
Oh my god, dude! There's probably still like sweat stains up underneath those buttons from us playing fucking TMNT, the arcade game.
Yeah, that was great,
dude. All the games back then, I have all of them. I have all the beat 'em up. Like TNT 1 on NES, though. What a piece of shit. You remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Like, you start out, it's like the above head view, and you go down in
with
the
little turtle bus.
Yes.
Disarming the bombs in the water.
And the fucking dam, yes.
Yeah, holy shit.
You got the goddamn seaweed. There's no physical possible fucking way to not touch the electric seaweed in that cavern. But you gotta fucking do it.
Yeah.
That game is so goddamn ridiculous. TMNT 2, though, which Ninja Turtles 2 on NES was a port of the arcade.
Yeah.
It's fucking great.
Yeah.
Hard as shit.
And I recall really liking the arcade version better.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So much smoother, man.
Yeah. The NES is bad about having, like, flickering enemies and...
Slow down, dude. You get, like, 10 Foot Clan members, like, on the screen at once, it's
slow-mo.
Yeah, man, like, there's Hyperstone Heist, no, I'm getting ahead of myself. Manhattan Project was part 3. It was hard as fuck as well. Now, Turtles in Time, Super Nintendo.
Yes.
Fucking great.
It was.
Also, Hyperstone Heist on Genesis, which is pretty much Turtles in Time, but just different levels.
Okay. I never played that one.
I got it. We'll play you can beat it in like 30 minutes. Okay. 20 to 30 minutes. It's a short game. Fucking fun as shit, though. It plays identical to Turtles in Time. There was Tournament Fighters, and that's pretty much when I lost track with the Ninja Turtles games. I got a few of the newer ones, but I don't know enough about them to really...
When they went to what we call the Weeaboo Turtles, they made them all Asian.
Yeah.
It wasn't
that version of Turtles.
Yeah, it wasn't the Ninja Turtles I grew up with, so I was like, I'm out. And even my stepson never really got into him. I got him one of the shitty Wii games, and he's like, he didn't play it much. He's like, this game's pretty crappy.
Yeah.
And then, now there's the new scary Ninja Turtles.
Oh, yeah, the Bro Turtles.
Yeah.
Teenage Mutant Bro Turtles. Dude, I got suckered on that shit. I knew it was going to be fucking terrible.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, you just need to be optimistic. I'm like, let's just get real technical real quick. And everybody can just hear the origin of why I'm so fucking butthurt over all that. Because this is a side note for you. Platinum Dunes is the company responsible for the Ninja Turtles reboot. Platinum Dunes is run by these two stupid fucks named Brad Fuller and Andrew Form, I think. Or some shit like that. Cocksucker A and Cocksucker B. And the company is fronted and run by the cocksucker of the explosion of cocksuckers, Mr. Michael Bay.
Oh, God, yeah.
They are responsible for doing the fucking Texas Chainsaw remake, which I stomached. It wasn't that terrible. However, they done the Friday 13th remake, and it wasn't that great either, but, I'm just still kind of like, it's a bunch of chicks with their titties out, and everybody smoking weed, fucking, and a guy in a hockey mask just killing them. Not hard to fuck that formula up.
Yeah. But
then they touched what I felt was like myself. They just sodomized me. They're responsible for the Nightmare on Elm Street remake. And hands down, worst fucking piece of shit I've ever had to witness. And then I seen they were doing Ninja Turtles, so I'm just like, well, you know, unless they come out and they announce that they're making fucking Ghostbusters, like, they've officially just sodomized my entire childhood, everything. So that's how I feel about the new Ninja Turtles. And this is some news for you, they announced yesterday, and I didn't believe it to be true, but it is. Tyler fucking Perry, Madea, has been signed to play Baxter Stockman in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2.
Yeah.
And the guy from Arrow that plays Green Arrow has been announced to play Casey Jones. And Bebop and Rocksteady are going to be in this one. Along with
I'm sure they're gonna
Optimus Shredder.
They're all going to be computer animated horrors.
Yeah.
Bring back the fucking animatronic suits. God damn it.
Yeah, get practical with your special effects. Okay, we're wandering, we're diddling, we're sorry.
Something else I played up there was Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and the third one was good too.
Marvel vs. Capcom, so fucking good, dude.
Yeah,
I
sucked ass at all those games, but I loved them.
Ryu and Wolverine was always my two combination, man. Like, you could do some damage.
I'd almost always have to go with Spider-Man and Venom, and then whoever the fuck else.
Venom's a bad motherfucker on there too. He had that one attack where he just turns into that giant Venom head, and it's a big gaping maw. Yeah, dude, that was a Marvel vs. Capcom. X-Men vs. Street Fighter was really fucking fun.
I never played that one, or the was it Mortal Kombat vs. DC?
Yeah, Mortal Kombat vs. DC was really good.
I never played that one either.
I have been called a cocksucker so many times from using the Flash on that game. Because, dude, I would fuck shit up running around as the Flash, man.
I recently started playing the Injustice Gods Among Us. And
man, I'm terrible at that fucking game.
I am too, but like the biggest baddest on the game, it seems so far, is Aquaman, of all people. Aquaman is...
He summoned fish to the disc because it never touched a frying pan.
This is the combos you can pull off with him. It's just ridiculous. It's just funny to see Aquaman like kick Doomsday's ass. How the fuck is that even happening?
Yeah, that's not feasible at all. Like
all the ultimate moves, which are fairly common in the new like Mortal Kombat games and stuff. They were all pretty well animated and really interesting. Like the Flash, he would run around the entire Earth and punch you. That was always awesome. Doomsday would punch you through the fucking Earth twice.
Damn.
Yeah.
Taking care of motherfucking business.
Yeah. And Superman would punch you up into space and like punch you back down, I think, something like that. But all of them are pretty cool.
It'd be funny if they had Bizarro on there and he's just
like, flies backwards.
Yeah, he's like, pull my finger.
Oh god, speaking of Bizarro in these games, DC Universe Online, it's a PC game.
It's available. You can get it on PS3 as well.
Oh yeah, I forgot they did port it.
Yeah, it's ported to PS3. I've never played it though.
It was a pretty fun MMO. It's as far as the superhero MMO is concerned, it's one of the more restricted ones as far as how you made your hero. You had to select from a set of different powers, and you pretty much couldn't change it beyond that. So they could be like fire, ice, use mental powers or sorcery or shit like that. And they were all pretty much based off some other hero.
Yeah.
But the game was pretty fun regardless of that. The free-to-play options on it are actually very reasonable. If you paid any money to them at all, you got like even more benefits. And like most free-to-play games, you can spend $100 and you're still just a shitty free-to-play member.
Yeah.
That one was a lot more reasonable. Most of the shit in the shop is like cosmetic or buying new powers to play with. But yeah, you could. They're all the bad guys from DC were like random spawning bad guys you can fight in the open world, and some of them were in different raids and stuff. I remember fighting Bizarro. At first, I thought it was Superman when I saw it, and he started breathing fire. It's like, oh fuck, it's Bizarro. me and my friend Justin, who's on last episode, we ended up kicking Bizarro's ass. That was pretty cool.
Nice. You think that in any future DC game endeavors that the recently revealed Jared Leto, meth head, trailer trash Joker make an appearance?
I hope not, but who knows?
Yeah, if you're wondering what we're talking about, you're obviously behind because They tweeted a picture of Jared Leto as the new Joker yesterday, and it's different. I'll say that.
Yeah, they've managed to find a new low. I figured they knew they couldn't do another Heath Ledger, so they're like, "We'll just pick the shittest guy over and just ruin their expectations now." So
let's get that guy from 30 Seconds to Mars. He's a real winner in our book.
Let's just ruin any expectations they have of Joker right now, so no one else has to live up to Heath Ledger.
Yeah. No shit.
Everyone will compare him to how shitty this guy is instead.
Yeah.
Ben Affleck wasn't bad compared to Jared Leto.
Yeah, dude. What an asshole. One of my favorite superheroes, which you can't really call him a superhero, anti-hero, like I touched on it earlier, Spawn.
Yeah.
Spawn's video game endeavors, though.
They were horrible.
Fucking crap.
I played one of them, I think, for the Dreamcast.
Spawn Armageddon.
It was so shit.
Yes.
I rented that game, and I was so pissed I rented that game.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I haven't really played it enough to just sit here and talk shit about it. I played it a handful of times. I did, however, went to Walmart after, I don't know, I probably got like a fucking report card or some shit and got the money. Went to Walmart and bought Spawn the Eternal for PlayStation. The fucking ad for that got pulled from GamePro and shit back in the day because the ad was it was an arm like making a muscle, and it was like, to beat the bad guys in this game, you're gonna need all of your limbs, and the page had a fold right here where you unfolded it and it severed, and it was fucking graphic, like, the meat and tendons hanging out in blood, and it's like, or you'll need somebody else's, because one of the keys to that game is you could fight somebody, like, it was a third person behind the back kind of game. Terrible fucking graphics now. But you run through there, and for example, you run up on somebody to fight. It scrolls into like a fighting game, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And controls are fucking unresponsive. It's almost impossible to beat just the normal fucking, the normal bad guys you come across. And one of the perks is you're supposed to be able to rip the limbs off and beat them with it. And the game was so hard to execute, you would rarely ever fucking do that. And that was supposed to be like one of the selling points of that game.
Yeah, that's bad.
I don't think I ever got past the third level of that game before I shit-canned it out of my collection. I was really let down because I was a huge fucking Spawn fan back in the day, man. I've always been into Spawn.
Yeah. I think you're the person who introduced me to Spawn. Because up to that point, I had never heard of it.
It breaks my heart that they haven't. And I think maybe now with the current gen, because I know Todd McFarlane's working on a script for a new Spawn movie. It's supposed to be, he said he wouldn't, that's the beauty now of them making comic book movies. Like,
yeah.
He's just kind of like, you're going to stick to this fucking source material, and you're going to make an R-rated, dark-ass movie how it's meant to be. We're not going to get no PG-13 cuts. Or you're not getting the fucking script, period.
Yeah.
People got balls about them now. It'll probably be a Kickstarter project or some shit.
That's a guy I could get behind directing a movie. Fuck Joss Whedon. I'll say it again. Fuck Joss Whedon. The Avengers 2 coming out, they've completely neutered the whole backstory of Ultron. If any of you don't know, Hank Pym, a.k.a. Ant-Man, created Ultron. And they changed it to where Tony Stark and Bruce Banner made Ultron. And that seems like a minor change, but it really isn't, because Ultron picked up Hank Pym's personality, and it really tied into the origins how he became a giant robotic dick. Because Hank Pym was a piece of shit. I mean, I'm sorry.
He's a master fucking thief. That's how, that's what gets him noticed for people. Like, we want you to be Ant-Man.
And he's infamous for beating his tiny wife. Yeah. Ant slut. But yeah, this pisses me off so bad. Fuck you, Joss Whedon. I went and saw Slayer last night, and I'm just so filled with hatred and rage that just thinking about this fills my balls up with this hatred. I wanted to just rip them off and mail them to him, so it just explodes in a hot load of seething hatred all over Joss Whedon's face.
Thank
God
you,
damn.
Slayer. Yeah, Joss Whedon.
Fuck you, fuck Firefly, fuck Serenity, and fuck your Whedonites. Fuck you.
Yeah, fuck Muffy the
I know you listen to this shit. Fuck you, Joss Whedon.
Yeah, we know where you're at right now. We know you're listening. And remember, asshole, you still owe me like $58 for that idea you stole.
Yeah,
Motherfucker.
cocksucker.
You should pay everybody. President Abomination should make it like a law that Joss Whedon has to pay every American that has been exposed to Muffy the Vampire Layer like $25 for like pain and suffering.
Did he do Angel? I know it's based off Buffy, but Angel was a horrible piece of shit.
I don't know. Man, that's that whole WB block of bullshit.
Yeah.
I was like, I was too punk rock back then.
Yeah.
I was like,
It's
refuse.
the WB.
Watch Dawson crying, finger his asshole tonight.
Followed by Angel crying and fingering his asshole. He was the precursor to fucking Twilight. God damn it.
We're not getting into that. That's for a whole other episode. Fuck that shit.
Back on track, another arcade game that we played up, or I played up there, is the Punisher one. And
I
that
did
one was
Punisher.
good.
Punisher's great.
Yeah, is Punisher Nick Fury?
Yeah.
Like the only game I know where you could be Nick Fury.
There's a Sega Genesis port of that game that's really fucking good too.
It was nice. And like, I remember I went and watched a YouTube video of it after that, and saw that at the end of it, you got to fight Kingpin, and you said some smart ass one liner, threw a grenade in there. With one grenade, you like blew up his whole fucking tower.
Dude, yeah, dude. He must have had like a bunch of flammable shit laying around.
Or maybe all his lard, because he knew lard. Yeah. He's just so filled with fucking gas and lard. He was just a ticking bomb.
He had a big bucket of KFC before like the ass whipping occurred. X-Men the arcade game was a really fucking good
Yes,
one.
it was. And it's almost entirely filled with fighting like the small Sentinel dudes.
Sentinels, yeah, dude. Was it? Man, I can't remember. Was it X-Men arcade game though, where you fight Mojo as a boss? You remember the big fat blob guy with the spider legs and shit?
I don't recall. I mainly remember fighting Magneto at the end.
Yeah,
he was a real cocksucker.
Yeah, he picks up shit and throws summons metal and shit out of nowhere.
The main thing I remember is he would just do this weird little this flashy move where just like a circle appeared around him and it just fucking fucked you up if you're near him.
Yeah, dude, X-Men the game for Sega Genesis was an incredibly difficult.
Was that ported on SNES or vice versa?
The SNES port was different.
Because there's one I played. I wish I could remember the name of it. It was also really difficult. It was a side scroller, like adventure almost.
See, on Genesis there was X-Men and X-Men 2, the Clone Wars. And then on Super Nintendo there was, I think there was like X-Men the animated series, and then there was like X-Men Spider-Man Arcade Revenge, I think. I don't remember. I'm sure there were more than that.
Yeah, the main one I remember is, I don't even remember how many characters you got to select from on that one, but I always remember fighting over who got to be Cyclops or Gambit.
Yeah, dude, Gambit was a bad motherfucker on the games.
He's always one of my favorite X-Men.
Yeah, dude. Too bad they fucked his shit up in the Wolverine movie, dude.
I have it.
We won't talk about that.
So, what, the Origins movie?
Yeah.
I vaguely remember it.
Taylor Kurtz or whatever the dude from like fucking John Carter.
Okay.
It plays Gambit in it, and it's fucking terrible. Cockadookie.
Back to Batman games. There's one on PC. It's also on the 360 and PlayStation 3. It's a free-to-play game. Gotham City Imposters.
I've seen it, but never played it.
Yeah, you're not really a superhero, but you're either a group of guys trying to be Batman or guys that are trying to be like Joker. And it plays all like Team Fortress 2. It's a team-based first-person shooter deathmatch type thing. And you just like the Batman's had all these like really shitty like generic Batman inventions like zip lines and stuff, and it just all looked like it's duct taped together and it's horrible.
Nice.
Nice. And the Joker side was kind of the same, but it's all based more off Joker shit, and it was pretty fun. When that was really popular, I was more into Team Fortress 2, so I didn't spend a whole lot of time with it, but it's been one I've been meaning to go back and play again. It was pretty fun.
I'm trying to.
What next?
Power Rangers, dude. Like, I guess you consider Power Rangers.
They were superheroes. I mean, they're not like traditional comic book ones.
Yeah,
but they were superheroes.
Dude, the Mortal Power Ranger combat. The fucking Power Rangers, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie on Sega Genesis. Is still one of my favorite. That's one of
that
the.
was also on SNES, wasn't it?
It was, but the SNES and Genesis versions are completely fucking different. Like the SNES one loosely follows the events of the movie.
Yeah,
and shit.
Yeah, I remember that much.
The Genesis one, man, is like straight up follows. Like you don't find any fucking putties like you do in the SNES one. It's all like the bird people and the Avenues people and shit. Like, it follows the movie, like, detail for detail. It was good. The rest of the Power Rangers games pretty much sucked, because, I mean, they're side-scrolling beat-em-ups. I mean, you can't expect much, but they're pretty difficult.
Yeah.
That was...
Something else I wanted to mention, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2.
I am in the dark on both of them.
Yeah. They were pretty damn fun. I spent many sleepless nights playing those. They were co-op Marvel themed Diablo games, basically.
Oh, that's cool.
If I recall, there wasn't loot in those games though. You mainly just leveled up your characters and the different attacks that they did. But they had a pretty fun storyline to go along with. I think the second one followed the Civil War storyline. The first one, I can't remember which storyline that one followed, but. Yeah, they were really fun games. They were, top-down view, kind of like Diablo always was.
Yeah.
And you could get up to 4 people, pick whatever hero you wanted, and just go kick some ass. And it was real fun.
I haven't played. I know the games, but
does the Xbox One play 360 games?
No,
they didn't do. Oh,
no.
That sucks. I was gonna say that'd be worth picking up an old copy.
I'm thinking maybe at some point they'll release some sort of patch or app that'll let you, but as of now, shit out of luck.
It should just be a fucking API change, because I mean, they're shitty computers now. There's nothing special in those things.
Yeah, dude, Spider-Man the games for PlayStation, like the movie games.
Yeah, I missed out on those, but I heard most of them are good.
I haven't played the third. I've played 1 and 2. 1 I played through completely, and I really enjoyed it. Now Spider-Man, just Spider-Man on PlayStation, not the movie Spider-Man the movie, but just like based on the cartoon. It was a fucking great game. I loved it. I mean, by now it probably doesn't hold up now as being just great, but it was fucking fun.
I know some of those were open world games, like you'd be just swinging around. And
that's how this is.
Okay.
Like, one of the missions, the hardest mission I remember is Venom. You're trying to question Venom, and Venom's like, well, Parker, if you can keep up with me, I'll give you what you want to know. And you race Venom across building tops. And you have to, like, use your spider sense to figure out where he runs, because he's obviously faster than you. Mm-hmm. And he'll go somewhere, and you gotta use your spider sense to kind of figure out. It's really fucking confusing at first, and it takes a lot of trial and error. Like, you pretty much have to memorize the route he runs on to actually get him. But it was, I liked it a lot.
I played the Shattered Dimensions game on the 360.
I haven't played it.
It was it was fun. It was open world. It's very linear, but you got to pick all the different dimensional versions of Spider-Man, and it was just a good little like adventure game / beat 'em up almost.
That's really cool.
I like playing as the noir Spider-Man, not the World War II black and white Spider-Man. Yeah. Man, that was awesome.
That's
it's like a lower powered guy with just like a little web slinger device, and it was really awesome.
We could talk about Superman 64.
Oh, fuck. There's never been a good
Stay
Superman
away.
game. Yes.
Stay away.
Has there been a good Superman game ever? Like, based on Superman, not just happen to have Superman in it?
Not to my knowledge. I mean,
Superman.
the only ones I can even think about, really, offhand, is there's Superman for Atari 2600, and then there's Superman 64. And I think there was a Superman on PlayStation, but I don't remember.
I think the problem with those games isn't so much that it just happened to be a string of shitty games. Is Superman would be a really hard character to make a good game for, because he can do everything.
Superman kind of sucks. I've never...
Yeah.
I mean, that's just my opinion. The views expressed in the show do not represent the views of everyone as a whole. I've
never been big into Superman.
I've never been a Superman
because he could
fan,
do
really.
too much shit. He was too strong, and his weaknesses were completely arbitrary.
Yeah, but Batman kicks the shit out of him in Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah,
like, I think maybe he's got like a kryptonite laced batarang or some shit.
Yeah, I don't really understand how Batman can compete with him other than being smarter. That's the only thing he has. If Superman wanted to kill Batman, Batman would be dead. And really vice versa. It'd be whoever went over at the other one first, and the other one didn't know about it. So, the only thing Batman has going for him is he's really intelligent, and he is paranoid as fuck. He's almost like, a sociopath.
Yeah.
I know. From what I've read of the comics, he's got a little plan to kill every other member of the Justice League just in case.
just backup plan.
Yeah. But yeah, Superman's weaknesses, it has this special fucking rock from his home planet, or red sunlight. That's the only fucking thing.
Yeah, that shit. How can you stop a fucking tornado from happening? Get hit by a goddamn meteor.
And
then a little green emerald kryptonite rock just fucks your shit up.
Oh yeah, magic was another of his weak points, which never seemed to really be a huge deal in the comics.
That shows how much I know about Superman. I had no idea.
Yeah, his powers just made him superhuman, but humans have no innate resistance to magic. So being a superhuman, you still have no innate resistance to magic. But at the same time, you never saw Black Adam just completely destroy Superman. You think he would, because that's all he is fucking magic. But I guess because it's Superman, he's the flagship character. He always wins.
Yeah, Superman. I'm pretty sure Superman is the first superhero.
The original Superman was just the dude who was a strong, fast dude that went out and helped people. He was more or less represented the American spirit. You get out there and you help people.
Yeah.
He was a superpowered, badass alien. But he slowly morphed into that.
You gotta give that backstory.
Yeah.
Fuck with the mythology and shit.
Yeah. There's all kinds of weird fuckery in those comics like that. Because they kind of wrote themselves into a corner to a degree with giving them all these powers and abilities. And
yeah.
So they kind of have to come up with arbitrary shit to bring them down or to make them irrelevant. But yeah, we're a little off subject though.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's not really a superhero game per se, but Comic Zone on Sega Genesis.
Yeah.
Dug the fuck out of it. How it's like a living comic book kind of deal.
There's a game on Steam I'm waiting to see go on sale or save. It's a piece of shit. It's a Judge Dredd book game. You go through a book and pick choices and stuff, what Judge Dredd does.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I don't know much about it yet, though. I saw it, and I think I added it to my wish list so I can keep an eye on it. But, yeah.
I wish they would do a fucking badass Judge Dredd game. Judge Dredd's one of my favorites, dude. Yeah. Not the I am the law Sylvester Stallone Judge Dredd shit. Now, new Dredd, Carl Urban Dredd that come out.
Yeah.
That, you seen it, Matty. Bad the fuck ass, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's one of the few newer comic book movies that were pretty good.
I agree completely.
Something else I wanted to bring up, it was more on the PC side, was Freedom Force. I know I played that when we hung out some, but I don't know if it ever really got you to play any.
Mm-mm.
It was, I can't remember the name of it. There's some kind of universe that they use. It's all their own shit. But it is one of the first, if not the first superhero game where you custom made your own hero from selections of different powers and abilities. And it was like a top-down RPG. It's used 3D graphics at the time were okay. It was really fun though. It had a really great story to it. Some of the heroes were obviously rip-offs of Marvel and DC's. Like the first one was I think it's Captain Freedom or something. No, the Patriot. And he looked like he's obviously a rip-off of Captain America, but he looked like George Washington walking around with like a big staff with an eagle on it.
Oh God. Like his fucking superpower is cutting down goddamn cherry trees. That villainous motherfucker!
Nah, his superpower is unregulated commerce.
He's got like a combo attack where he's like, "Watch my main bitch, make this flag."
Champions Online was another one I liked a lot. It was an MMO, and it had the best ability to create whatever superhero you wanted. The cosmetic side of it and the power side of it. You can make them look however the fuck you want it almost. And you can mix and match powers. Like, you could be like, hey, I want this power from the tech tree, and I want this power from the fire tree, and I want this power from the fucking psychokinesis tree.
That's cool.
It, especially when it first came out, it was really awesome. Then Perfect World Online bought them. And I don't know if you know this, but Perfect World Online has a bad reputation for fucking everything they touch up. And
I'm new to all that.
Yeah, they went from a subscription game to free-to-play, and the free-to-play version, you had to select specific builds that they pre-made for you, or you had to be a subscriber, and then you could do your pick and choose customization. And from what I've seen, they've got a little bit better on that side. You could buy custom slots to make a new character with, and pick and choose your powers in that particular character slot.
Yeah,
but I'm pretty sure it's Perfect World International. There's got to be some pay-to-win shit in there. They're notorious for that. I haven't looked in it recently. It's one of those games every now and then I'll go back and check out and see how good or bad it's gotten. But it was fun, and if you can look past some of the horseshit, it probably still is really fun. It has a lot of ties to City of Heroes, which recently died in 2012. It was another MMO.
I've never played it, but I do know what City of Heroes is.
If I remember right, Champions Online was basically supposed to be City of Heroes 2, and then they had some kind of problems going on, and so this company just made Champions Online. City of Heroes, I can't remember the character creation too much. I think the powers, you selected from a set of powers, and you got to choose what you want from those. The actual cosmetic side of it was pretty freeform, but you also had shit where you can make your own layers.
Yeah.
And, like, you get with a team with other superheroes and like, fight other people in their layers. It had a lot of stuff like that in it.
Well, that's really cool.
And then the last PC MMO side of thing I want to touch is Marvel Heroes 2015. It is Marvel Diablo. And it's pretty fucking fun. Like, when I first heard about this game, I was like, oh, it's a new Marvel-based MMO. I was like, sweet, I want to make a character that does this and that.
Yeah.
And then it's like, nope, you got to pick Spider-Man or, Rocket Raccoon or, But I thought it was shit. And I got into the game when it, I think it's always free to play. I eventually gave it a try, and I saw that it played more like Diablo. And each of these characters are more like a class. So yeah, you were Spider-Man. You might even team up with 3 more fucking Spider-Mans. But the way the game played, you weren't really attached to your character so much. It's just, playing through the game Diablo style, getting loot, leveling up, facing off hordes of fucking bad guys. It was pretty fun so far. I still log on there sometimes and play it. It's because it's free and I got that option. That's one thing that's good about free-to-play games. You don't have to worry about the subscription and trying to get your money out of it every month.
Am I going to make my quota for what I'm putting into
That's
this
why,
shit?
if I really love a game, I like lifetime subscriptions. I can slap down $150 to $200 and always have the game. I don't have to worry about, if I'm going to play it enough this month to justify the $15 or not. I just play it when I want it, however I want it. So, yeah, Marvel Heroes 2015 was pretty good. It's free to play, so if you got a half-ass decent PC, check it out.
Go get that shit, yo. That's what you need to do. Do what you say.
I haven't played this one, but I know MOBAs are all the rage, like, you know, League of Legends and
Yeah.
Dota 2. I'm not a fan of them because they encompass everything I don't like about most modern strategy games. The micromanagement of them.
Yeah, but like, your game's fun, but it could be a lot more fun if you buy this shit. It's only 99 cents.
I know League of Legends is bad about that. Dota 2 is not, because they're made by Valve, and Valve's actually a respectable company.
Yeah, they understand what their fucking people want and what they don't.
Sure, they'll sell you a hat for $100 probably, but, you know, it doesn't make you better at the game.
They know you want Half-Life 3, but, you know, they're still going to jerk your dick. Like,
but yeah, there's a MOBA out called Infinite Crisis, and it's a DC Universe MOBA. And from what I've seen, it's got really mixed reviews. I guess if you're hardcore into MOBAs and to DC, check it out, because like all MOBAs, it's free to play.
Yeah.
But otherwise, pass on that shit. It looks like this is the cash grab. Like, hey, MOBAs are popular. Let's put a DC flavor on it and make some sales.
Yeah, let's take this game, a generic game, and just substitute these characters in and see what kind of fucking commercial pull we can get off of this shit. Yeah. Right.
I'm done with the PC side of things. There's not a whole lot of PC only superhero stuff. I'm
trying to just pull something out of my ass.
Ultraman on the Super Nintendo.
Ultraman.
For any of you who don't know Ultraman, he was
Japanese.
I don't know if he was based off Jet Jaguar or if Jet Jaguar was based off of him. But basically, they were the same fucking character.
It was a dude that put on the Ultraman suit and grew to the size of fucking Kaiju, right?
Right, and you fought him in the game. It was a fighting game where you fought Kaiju.
Extremely hard fighting game.
Yes. I beat that game a couple times, but it was hard as shit.
I did. That was like one of the very first Super NES games to come out, too. Yeah. And I knew it threw everybody for a loop, because other than then, how many fucking times have you heard of Ultraman? Like, over here,
that's the first time I ever heard of Ultraman.
Me too.
He was, you know, pretty damn popular in Japan, from what I understand. But here, you never heard of it.
It's one of the things that didn't get a foothold here like other Japanese shit did.
Yeah.
I see that one on your list. You might as well throw that one up.
Yeah. Earthworm Jim 1 and 2.
Earthworm
Not a comic book game, even though they didn't make comic books of it afterwards.
It's a fucking Earthworm with superpowers, so technically he is a superhero.
Man, those games are so fucking good.
Yeah, Earthworm Jim, dude. What was the villain?
Queen pulsating,
bloated slug for a butt.
Yeah, that's a short version.
Yeah.
She's basically a giant termite queen.
Fucking Psychro.
Yeah.
Her, what was the dog's name? Pete the dog?
Peter Puppy.
Peter Puppy.
And he was your sidekick / enemy.
Dude, that motherfucking level where you gotta, like, guide him through the level and, like, protect him.
Yeah, like, he's just skipping along and you gotta protect him. You gotta whip him to get him ahead.
Yeah, dude.
And if he gets hit, he turns into this raging badass that, you know, takes, like, half your life.
No, I think he just fucking kills you. Like,
nah, he will fuck you up. I think you get hit twice before you die.
Oh, I thought it just, like, it fucked you up automatically.
You knew what happened. But
it wasn't your common little nosebleed, motherfucker, let me tell you.
And then I had that goldfish who talked like a fucking preacher in the cartoon.
That had like in the games, the goldfish had that big zombified cat thing that carried around.
But in the games, he was always a non-boss. Like, you'd go through this level and get to him, and then you just find a goldfish in a bowl and kill him.
Dude,
I think it was Earthworm Jim 2. Like, you got to him, and Earthworm Jim just ate him. Is that the end?
Dude, I don't even remember.
Yeah, you got to it, and it showed Earthworm Jim and the goldfish bowl, and it says, fight! Like Mortal Kombat style. And he just picks it up and eats it. Gets on his rocket and jets off.
Nice.
I love the humor in those games.
Yeah.
The music in them was great, too.
Did Shiny make Earthworm Jim?
I don't know.
That's gonna have to be
something that will always be implanted in my head. Is at the end of every level, you see Earthworm Jim's face on there, and every time you every time you press the button, he goes groovy.
I remember, like, I got into an argument with kids at school one time. He's like, he says Rosie, and I'm like, you're fucking stupid. Like, how many earthworms do you know that sit around and say Rosie, asshole?
Or say anything.
David Perry. It was Shiny.
Okay.
That developed it. David Perry did some pretty good games. I think he did MDK. He did the Enter the Matrix, the Path of Neo.
That was an okay game. If you didn't want it to hold true to the movies, it was decent.
He did Messiah. Wild 9, that's the other game. I have it for PlayStation. Did you ever play Wild 9?
No.
You're like 9 superheroes that have, and you torture your enemies. Like, you run through a level and there'd be like 2 big ass rollers in the floor with spikes on it. And you can kick your enemy off of to it, or you can play as a character that's got this tractor beam. You can pick shit up and sling it. And you can just pick the enemy up and just like set them down in that grinder and shit. Fucking, it's fun.
Earthworm Jim is one of them games to this day I think I'm fairly talented at still because I played them so fucking much.
Yeah.
Especially the second one. A lot of people say the second one was harder, but I can run through the second one and beat it pretty damn easy.
Did you ever play Earthworm Jim 3D?
That was such a piece of shit.
Oh man, that was fucking bad, dude. Not a good game that translates well in 3D.
Yeah.
At all.
And that came out towards the demise of N64, didn't it?
Yeah, it was toward the end.
Because it's one of those games I would have fucking got if I saw it as a kid, and I knew it was coming out. And then like the N64 dies, I'm like, well, okay, that's that. And then later on, I find it as a realm. I'm like, this came out. Oh, holy shit. And
then you're like, well, this is why I've never fucking heard of it.
Yeah.
That's the little Earthworm Jim back there on the shelf is going to be the mascot for tonight's episode.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I had some of those action figures as a kid too. That was one of my favorite games of all time.
Snots. His little
Snot in his backpack. He didn't come into play with the second one of a crawl. Or was he?
He was in the first one.
He was a parachute. He was a parachute in the first one.
Yeah.
In the second one, you actually used them instead of your earthworm whip.
Yeah, that's right.
You use him to like go across like ceilings filled with snot, and he'd stick to them.
That's right. They changed the play mechanic just a hair.
I really enjoyed the rocket levels. We
were racing Psychro.
Yeah.
Like through the wormholes.
Yep.
That fucking music, dude.
Yes.
That like the bluegrass shit that's playing.
Andy Asteroids.
Yes.
The name of the level and the song. That was fucking amazing.
Dude, that's great. You remember that.
Yeah.
Dude, I need to write this down because they actually make a version of Earthworm Jim for Sega CD, and I'm gonna write it down because I've been wanting like a copy of it. It's supposedly like the superior version because it's got like CD quality music and cutscenes and shit.
And I like the Earthworm Jim cartoon. It was funny. I got my stepson watching
that.
Dude.
It had that like. It was for kids, but it had that lowbrow humor that was kind of like adults like this shit too if they pay real close fucking attention.
Yep.
Well, I guess that wraps it up for our subject.
Yeah.
You got one of them
shit or the shits.
Is there a shit or the shit for this week?
There is.
Woo!
Something that
Nelly!
Dropped off of early access to full release on Steam. Something I hadn't really been keeping up with till now. Crypt of the Necrodancer.
Necrodancer?
Necrodancer. Have you seen or heard anything about it?
I have not, sir.
Okay.
Enlighten me.
It is an 8-bit rhythm roguelike game. Like a dungeon crawler roguelike game that's based off rhythm. So it has this music going, and everything you do needs to go with the rhythm of the music. And you can even hook up a fucking DDR pad to the PC and play the game with it. Only keys you need are the arrow keys. That's the only keys you need. So every movement you make, or everything you do, if you don't keep it time with the beat, will pretty much fuck up your score, which is a coin multiplier. You use coins to buy shit in the game. So keeping in the beat really helps you progress in the game. But if you keep up with the beat, the floor of the script starts lighting up in like squared sequences, like in a disco floor. It's pretty fucking awesome seeing that happen. All these undead enemies come at you, and they move with the beat too. So the beats are almost like turns. So you can kind of prepare, like, this enemy's probably going to go up or down during this next beat, so I'm going to go left or right or something like that. You can plan when they're going to move. And
that's fucking cool.
Yeah, you pick up weapons in the game, and to attack, you just walk into the enemy. and but like if they walk onto you, that hurts you, or if they are in certain states, like one of them, they're skeletons, if they have their hand up, they're about their hands are in the air, raising the roof, I guess. But they just don't care.
We don't need no water. Let the motherfucker burn.
That means they're about to move, and chances are, when you move, they're going to move onto you and hurt you. There's like ghost enemies that they're in their incorporeal state. You don't want to move onto them because then they'll just follow you around and fuck you around for a little bit. There's like a monkey, I think, that if you don't kill it really quick, he jumps on your back and you can't do anything till you kill him. But the actual gameplay is simple, but it's hard to fucking master.
Yeah.
Because you gotta keep up with the beat. You see little scrolls of beat symbols on the bottom, like come across and go to the center, and that's your signal to move with the beat. But you can't watch that and play the game at the same time, so you gotta kind of just get in the rhythm of that beat and all your movements and not even care about that shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, as you go through the game, you'll find chests with weapons and spells. You cast spells with different combinations of arrow buttons. So like one of them's like a horizontal fire spell, like you left and right just becomes a pillar of flame for a second and fucks everything up in between. You get bombs, like it's very similar to Zelda in that respect, the way the bombs work.
Plant one and wait a few seconds for the fucker to blow up.
In fact, there's like 2 beats before it blows up, so you get the fuck out of there when you plant a bomb.
Nice.
See, there's shopkeepers in the game that you go and spend the gold and diamonds at, and they like sing with the beat. It's fucking awesome. Like one of them's like an opera singer. You just hear "oh" with the beat of the game. Another one's a yodeler.
Nice.
Fucking yodeling with it. Yeah, you spend your gold and diamonds there to get new permanent upgrades or new weapons that only work while you're in this dungeon. You can put your own MP3s in the game. I haven't tested that yet to see how well it works, but I imagine playing that game to some fucking Slayer or Dragon Force or something will just destroy you.
Hell yeah, dude! Like something to like put you on edge enough to pump you up to be like, I'm about to fuck this game.
And then the beat would be like pow 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 pow. It's so fucking quick. Let's see. Yeah, I haven't tested the MP3 function, but the music in the game itself is pretty good. I mean, it's not something I'd go out and listen to on my own, but it fits the game. All of it kind of has like a club music kind of disco-y theme to it.
Yeah.
Just mainly because that stuff carries a really good beat. The crypt is lined with all these walls, and they're dirt, so it's actually got somewhat of a Minecraft element to it. You can dig up walls and find new paths to different areas or find new treasures, and yeah, it's got local multiplayer. I haven't tried that yet, but I imagine you and another friend could either call up on a keyboard or maybe hook up some controllers and both go through these dungeons and do that together.
Yeah,
that's really about all I got to say about the game. It's a pretty damn good game, so I'm going to say this game is the shit.
Crypt of the Necrodancer.
Yep. Just dropped off early access.
It's the shit.
It is the shit.
So you need to check that out, because if Brandon says it's shit, more than likely it's the ball B. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. If you like rhythm games, fucking check it out.
It sounds really cool. Like the play mechanics sound really fucking interesting.
Yeah, and it's 8-bit graphics. You don't need a good computer for it. If your computer's made the century, it'll run it. So check it out.
I might would try that on my laptop. Had my dog not chewed my fucking.
I think it's on sale now for $12. The normal price might be $15. It's not an expensive game, and you can get a lot of hours out of play out of it.
We might check that out then. Well, I guess we're winding down to the last part of the episode. We got a few questions that some eager motherfuckers want to hear the answers to. I got a couple that got sent to my actual email.
Sweet.
But,
if you got questions, hit us up on Facebook or send us an email to podcast@goodolegamers.com.
Yeah. podcast@goodolegamers.com will get your answers directly to us, so we will be able to answer them accordingly on the show. Our first question tonight comes from Mr. Matthew Glover, one of my good friends, and he simply wants to know, what games as a child did you beg for the most, and what was the most disappointed that you were in a game that you waited for?
Game that I begged for the most. I stopped begging for games fairly early on because I learned that doesn't work, and that I had to work or save money for my games mostly. But Godzilla. I saw Godzilla in a pawn shop, and I was like, it's gotta be mine. So yeah, I begged and pleaded for that game for a while before I got it.
One of the first games I begged for was Zelda Ocarina of Time.
That's a good
when
one.
the pre-order come out. The pre-order, I think, come out around November maybe, and it was close to my birthday, and I begged. I'm like, please just go pre-order. And it was uncommon to go throw fucking $50 down on the game before the game had even come out back then. And I could never talk my parents into it, but I got lucky and was a spoiled kid thanks to my grandparents. And I come home from school one day and my grandpa had me a fresh spanking... I didn't get the gold cart initially, but I still got Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
And that was one of the first ones I remember begging for. I remember when I was a little kid, like, wanting other games, but just realizing if it's not your fucking birthday, or if it's not Christmas, or if you didn't get all A's on a report card, you're not getting a new fucking game, period. The game that I've waited on the longest, that I was the most disappointed in, and it wasn't a big shock, and I wasn't disappointed because the game's terrible, but Ghostbusters for 360. I heard that game was coming out, and I mean, everybody that knows me knows I'm a fucking huge Ghostbusters fan, and sat down and beat the game in 4.5 hours.
Ooh.
Fucking disappointed. I'm like, just spent $60 on the game, you know, get home at 5 o'clock, 10 o'clock, I've beat it.
Yeah.
That's depressing. That's fucking disappointing.
My most disappointed game was something I've mentioned before, Star Wars The Old Republic, the MMO by BioWare. Okay, the history behind this game, why I even wanted to get into it, since I had played the Matrix Online and I was in a guild that we were all pretty good friends with. Our Matrix Online dies, and so they start looking for a new game to call home. So they decide upon Star Wars The Old Republic. And I was like, okay, I'll play the Knights of the Old Republic game by BioWare, and they were great. So and BioWare still had a good history of making good games at that point.
Yeah.
So I was like, cool. I read a little bit about it. They were promising like arcade style, like fast paced combat, and that's really unheard of in an MMO. I was like, fucking sweet, I'm down. And then I kept myself in the dark on it because I don't like to sit there and hop myself up over a game and just make the wait for it fucking forever. So I just kind of tune myself out of that shit and stay out of the loop on purpose. Yeah. So it releases, I get the game, I get on there, and it's World of Warcraft with lightsabers. I was so fucking pissed at how much of a piece of shit that turned out to be. I kind of had a feeling it was going to turn out that way. Just because MMOs typically did and still do to some degree to follow that tried and true World of Warcraft.
Yeah, that kind of like formula that established.
God, I tried so hard to force myself to like that game just so I could play with these friends of mine, and I couldn't.
No avail.
Yeah, as this Ralph with the sandwich combat, which I fucking loathe at this point, where you have a hot bar, like a million fucking hotkeys.
Speaking of loafers, how's your dad?
Yeah. But you know, you characters sit there and auto attack and just is swinging at him by himself.
It takes the fucking element of playing a video game out of playing a video game, kind of deal. Like,
yeah, you had the skills and cooldown. So basically, you're like, yeah, my skills 1, 2, and 3 are the best ones. Fuck the other ones. So I'm just gonna do skill 1, then skill 3, and then skill 2, and rotate them between my auto attacks for maximum DPS. That's about it. Fuck that. Fuck BioWare for making that game. They've made it even shittier with the free-to-play changes. The only MMO that I liked that really had the auto-attack option was Ultima Online. And that game was so fucking frantic. I couldn't imagine having to manually attack in between all the running around and shit you had to do in that game. So that was forgiven.
Yeah.
But other than that, fuck auto attacks. But yeah, that was my
disappointing.
Yeah.
As shit.
So yeah, that's my disappointment. Star Wars: The Old Republic. Don't fucking play it. Don't give them money. Hopefully it'll fucking die and they'll learn their lesson.
If you do it, you're an asshole.
Yep.
Well, the second question we got, and actually the last for this evening, because we own slim pickings tonight. It's a double question. Sent in to us from Mr. Jeffrey Wiggennorth. He wanted to know two things. To you guys, and this might not apply to you, you don't collect anymore really, but is NES collecting become boring to you? Has NES collecting become boring? Yes. To me it has.
I can see
that kind of talks about what we talked about earlier, like with people buying up retro games, you know. The prices increase, more people's into it. It makes it harder on you. You know, you're not as likely to go out and find those gems in the wild that you want to get, you know, that you want to find.
You're not going to find that rare Pokemon in the weeds. You know?
Yeah, like, you're going to have to fucking look elsewhere.
Fucking deal with your Pidgeys and Rattatas, goddammit.
It is kind of boring because usually if you do find a lot of, like, NES games, it's all the same shit games you've seen everywhere else. Very rarely do you come through something anymore with, like, a swath of good shit in it.
The NES had a lot of turds for it, I'll be honest.
Oh, yeah. People fail to realize that. And I'm like, yeah, the NES had some great games, but name me 30 badass games off the top of your head, you know, and usually somebody's like maybe 15 or so, like, and it's always the fucking Marios, Contra, Zelda, Metroid, Punch-Out, your basic shit.
That's what made the Super Nintendo a more enjoyable console.
Super Nintendo's fucking fantastic.
I mean, it had its share of shit games, but it had far more good to great games on it.
Yeah, Nintendo had kind of tightened up on their quality thing then. You know, they wouldn't just censor everything and slap a fucking seal of approval on it and send it out the door like they did during the NES days.
I mean, even some of the games that were considered shit for the SNES were fun, like Clay Fighter. I love Clay Fighter. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people still consider that a shit game.
Well, dig this. Clay Fighter 63 and a third, you know, the one that came out in 64, the third one, they have a Sculptor's Cut. And I think it's just called Clay Fighter 3 Sculptor's Cut. It was a Blockbuster exclusive rental. Like a $200 game now.
Oh, damn.
Little side note.
That's pretty cool.
Second part of this question. In your video game travels, have you ever encountered a fellow gamer who was just a complete asshole?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dude. More often than not.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to get on here and name names, but I've met some skis bag motherfuckers in my travels. I've done the Craigslist shit and everything. Had to carry the piece with me, you know, like.
Yeah. And
put this in the car in case shit goes sour.
Just video games, but Magic the Gathering. Once I started hitting up bigger tournaments, holy shit, there are some supreme douchebags that play it. It took
elitist motherfuckers, man.
Like I remember playing against one guy, and I can't remember what he wrote down, but you know, it wasn't uncommon to write down your life total and other guy's life total and make sure you keep shit straight. But he put down me for his. And then on mine, he put down, like, cocksucker or something on mine. So I'm like, okay. I scrapped his ass. He got so pissed he called a judge over it, even though it was perfectly legal. And the judge was like, yeah, you just lost. I'm like, fuck you.
I've met some dudes, I guess they get jealous and they try to undercut you because, you know, in the retro game collecting aspect, a lot of the shit I found's from people online posting stuff. And a perfect example, and you know, people are going to hear this and they're like, well, you're just as big of a dickhole as these other people. And I'm fine to accept that if that's what people think about me, but a girl got on the net one day and posted a box of box Super Nintendo games. I'm talking like fucking Final Fantasy 3, Link to the Past, Super Metroid. Good fucking games, pristine condition. She's like, my boyfriend's had these since he was a kid, don't want them anymore, told me to sell them. I beat everybody on that group to her. And I didn't lowball her, I can say that. I asked her, I'm like, what are you wanting for the Super Nintendo games? And she was like, $12 a piece. And I told her, I was like, and I'm told she had like Secret of Mana in the box as well, like some fucking Squaresoft RPGs. And I'm like, I'll buy them all. I think she had like 12 games. I was like, I'll take every one of them. I'm at work. I get off work in 2 hours. Got cash in my pocket. Can meet you. Some of these dickholes that wanted the shit that I beat to the punch get on there and tell this girl after, like, they get on there and message her about them. They're like, I've got them committed to me. They get on there and they're like, oh, by the way, here's the fucking eBay links for these games. You do know these games, some of these go for like $100 a piece in the box, right? And she's like, oh, well, I'm sorry, I can't sell them to you. I'm going to put them on eBay. And then they turn around and talk shit about me trying to lowball her. And like I said, I never made the fucking offer.
Right.
You know, that's what she told me she wanted. That's not my fault. That's on her. You know, you don't know what you got. Maybe you should do better research before you just blindly sell some shit.
Exactly.
Not my fucking fault. And
if you just wanted to pay standardized prices for shit, why even look?
Yeah, well, they talk shit about me doing that, and then turn around and like post they post like pictures of their weekend hauls and shit, and like, yeah, I got this fucking $200 boxed Genesis game or some shit, or a $200 boxed SNES game. Paid the lady like $40 for the whole box. And I'm like, what the fuck is any different with y'all doing that shit? And y'all are bragging about it on top of that. Like, yeah, I posted my like $5 find on Earthbound because who the fuck else you know is going to find Earthbound for $5?
Exactly.
Shit like that, shit that's worth posting and bragging about, fine. But, you know, just blatantly being like, oh, we ripped these fuckers off last weekend. You know, I have, and then it's just these motherfuckers. You got to do trading with some of them, and they don't want to give you shit, but they want you to give them every fucking major thing. I had a guy tell me, he's like, yeah, if you want to get this Super Nintendo, I already have a Super Nintendo Mini, but I come across another one. Guy's like, yeah, if you want to get it, you need to trade me Final Fantasy 3 and a box Super Game Boy and a box Link to the Past and a spare Nintendo Model 1 console. And I'm like, how fucking stupid do you think I am, dude? I'm like, the goddamn console only goes for like 60 fucking bucks, and this is without controllers or hookups, mind you. Just the console.
Yeah.
And I'm like, $60 tops, man. Like, I'm not fucking stupid in this field either, you know. I know what I have and I know what you got. Like, and I'm fine, like, reaching a comfortable medium with both parties. Like, I can live with that. But to answer that question, yes. I have encountered some assholes in the field. Resellers are some of the worst, man. People that'll go to like swap meets and shit, and they'll walk around. They'll get there at like 5 and walk around and buy up all the cheap games and carry over their tent and fucking mark them up.
Yeah,
50 to 100%.
Yep. I guess there's probably assholes in all things you do in life.
We guess that about wraps it up.
It sure does. I guess we need to do the obligatory links and such. Facebook is look for Good Ole Gamers podcast. Twitter at Good Ole Gamers. GoodOleGamers.com is our website.
You need to visit it.
Yep. Any of you who use iTunes, please hit the subscribe button and leave us a review. That helps us a lot to get higher up in the search rankings.
Yeah, we definitely need y'all to give us suggestions, like us, subscribe to us.
Yeah.
Tell everybody about us.
Even just dropping our link to our website around helps us a lot with Google.
Yeah, if everybody that were to listen to us were to just share our fucking website one time a day, it would help us out a shit ton.
Yeah,
and we would
it really would.
Mucho fucking appreciative.
Yeah, we appreciate anything you guys do for us. Let's see, I haven't been able to stream any games lately, but I plan on doing it as soon as I can. But twitch.tv/Good Ole Gamers is our Twitch. Steam group, look for Good Ole Gamers. I plan on having another giveaway soon, so get on there and get a free game.
Yeah, and it still stands. 150 likes. Somebody's gonna get a game out of my collection.
Hell yeah.
150 person, they can tell us what fucking console they have and all that shit, and we'll try to hook up something. Please, though, send us your questions, comments, review us, send us what you think of the show.
Yeah,
tell us what we can fucking do better, man.
Tell us how shitty we are.
Yeah.
I want to hear it.
Trust us, nothing you can fucking say is going to hurt these old boys' feelings, because we've all heard some shit in our day.
Yep.
Questions, suggestions, photos, anything. Send us games you want us to review.
Show us your titties, I don't care.
Whatever you want to do, it's all up to you. We won't call anything around here. But we'll have another episode coming up for you next week. Not sure what the topic will be. We'll have something fucking planned by then, I guess.
In the coming months, we're planning on going to the Southern Fried Arcade Expo.
We are.
And we'll have some good shit for you then, too.
Yeah, and if anybody would like to send any money our way to fund our trip to Atlanta, that would also be greatly appreciative. You'll get credited somehow. But you don't have to do that. But if you'd like to, we ain't gonna fucking object.
Yep.
We're two broke guys broadcasting out of a fucking cabin. So, But thank you for listening as always. And like Brandon said, check us out at goodolegamers.com. Check our Facebook group out at Good Ole Gamers Podcast. Check us out on Twitch. And
that's really it.
That's about it. Until next time, Brandon, we're going to let you do us in tonight.
Game over, man. Game over.